Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! You girls are incredible. Over 40,000 views almost on this YouTube channel have been put up, and it's all thanks to each and every one of you. I can't even begin to put into words how appreciative I am of each and every one of you having hit my subscribe button for all my videos on Ruby Rose Turner, Kylie Cantrall, Malia Baker. It's unbelievable. I don't know where I'd be without each and every one of you, but I do know that because of your love and support, I will go down in history for having been one of the greatest of all time. One of the things that I've always prided myself on is my legacy, and I've often talked about how my greatest fear is being forgotten. I've never ever wanted to fade off into obscurity and be forgotten about, and long after I'm gone and my voice and my YouTube videos are no longer seen or heard, I just don't want to be forgotten by you guys. I always want to be remembered for just how passionate I was about Descendants and Zombies and everything I talked about on my show, because one thing that I've always wanted is for my voice to be heard. And I know now that my voice will be heard for forever and my videos will be seen for forever, because you girls brought me back when there seemed to have been no hope for my YouTube channel and my show. You obviously saw a hero in me, and you wanted that hero to be me. And ever since you guys have brought me back, I have prided myself on creating great videos for you, because I believe for far long enough now that the Descendants and Zombies franchises have deserved to be talked about with absolute respect. And I think that a lot of people don't do that. I think that a lot of people don't pride themselves on talking about Descendants and Zombies with the respect it deserves, because this is a very powerful niche that has inspired so many people. So many people are so much stronger now because of Descendants and Zombies. I remember watching the Zombies franchise for the first time in February of 2018 and being blown away by this and thinking this was going to make waves with Disney. Disney was really coming into its own with this sci-fi, zombies, humans kind of bond in a world where they could coexist. And I thought it was so cool how Meg Donnelly brought the character Addison to life, how Milo Manheim brought the character Zed to life in such a powerful way. I thought it was incredible. And Descendants was just a beautiful movie. It was just filled with so much passion and so much life and so much color and so much beauty. It was unbelievable. The girls in the movie were absolutely gorgeous. I loved Ruby Rose Turner from the very first time that I laid eyes on her, and it really breaks my heart that Ruby is no longer going to be a part of Descendants 5. I've become the voice of Descendants and Zombies, but I also feel as if Ruby is going to forever and always hold a special place in my heart for just how much she touched each and every one of your hearts, really. Ruby was just a genuinely kind person, and I think that it's really hard to come by a genuinely kind person in this lifetime. I've often said that you don't need a whole lot of friends to make it through life, you just need a few really good ones, and I was a guy who had a few really good friends in his life, and I feel very blessed to have known the people that I do. I had a really good friend years ago who always told me that you never needed a whole lot of friends and all you had to be was yourself. If you had a few really good friends, you could make it through life and you were going to be all right. And that's what I've been trying to tell you guys on this show, is that you don't necessarily need a whole lot of friends. You just need a few really good friends to help you make sense of everything that you may be going through. That's why I've often said that girls who are friends with other girls and take pride in that and put that on display, I have a lot to be proud of, because I think that if you can be there for your girlfriends and you can support them in ways that other guys can't in relationships, I think that you have a lot to be proud of. And I've often encouraged girls who are friends with other girls to really be proud of it and just to be there for each other. I've never wanted to take that away from anyone. No matter who I was in a relationship, I always believed that having a friendship with another girl was very important to development and to develop skills, and to honor that. I always supported that. And I think that a lot of guys out there just never really could do that the way that I could, because I was just so proud to be around a lot of people. I think girls are really the only thing that's ever made sense in this lifetime. And I think that the girls in Descendants did a great job putting their effort into Descendants and Zombies and really bringing it to life in a way that I don't think anyone would have been able to do it. I think that the future of Descendants and Zombies pretty much has been secured, either when you talk about having the torch pass, the cast of the past. I think they're doing a phenomenal job of this, and I really look forward to the future of Descendants with Descendants 5, with Wonderland, and Zombies 5. I will go for 3 years in between the release of each movie, because I think that it will give me time to really put these videos out there in a way that they need to be promoted. I think that you know, I don't put a whole lot of effort into promotion. I just allow this YouTube channel to be promoted the way that it was meant to be promoted, and that's not by putting up fake subscribers or fake views on this YouTube channel to affect the algorithm. I leave that up to you guys. I just wanted to create great videos for each and every one of you that you would feel inspired by. I think that Ruby Rose Turner is an incredibly beautiful person who has inspired people to become better in life, and I give her a profound amount of credit for that. While other people choose to criticize Ruby, I have never wanted to criticize Ruby, nor have I wanted to criticize Kylie Cantrall. I know there are a lot of rumors about the friendship between Kylie Cantrall and Mila Baker. There have been a lot of rumors ever since we saw Descendants: The Rise of Red just last year, and yeah, I know I live in a haunted house. There's a lot of banging you'll hear in the background from time to time. I'm seriously thinking about calling an exorcist, but and I also live just 5 minutes away from a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode. But I really think that even with all the rumors about a apparent relationship between Kylie Cantrall and Mila Baker, I think that this friendship is absolutely beautiful. And let me just say this for the record. If I was dating either Kylie Cantrall or Mila Baker, I would support their friendship with each other, because I think that it has encouraged a lot of people that it's okay to have a friend, it's okay to trust in somebody, and not everybody out there is a real bad person. I think that there are really good, genuine people that exist in this world, and I have seen that through the friendships that we have seen with Descendants and Zombies, going all the way back, as far back as the friendship between Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson. Because when Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson were going through really bad breakups in their life, they were there for each other. I know Dove Cameron was really fond of Sophia Carson for always being there for her through her relationships with Ryan McCartan and Thomas Doherty. My heart has always been with Dove Cameron. It will always go out to Dove Cameron for everything she's had to endure, everything she's had to go public with over the years. She's kept a lot of it private, like her family life and her battle with her father. Of course, their relationship was very complicated on times. But I think that the friendships that Dove Cameron had ever since she was 8 years old — I know she had a friend that was killed on the set of a movie or a TV show years ago, and then her dad committed suicide — but her friendships with people like Sophia Carson and the bond that she had with each and every one of you is really what got her through that. And then you had Ruby Rose Turner, who just adored everybody that she worked with and brought the best out of not only herself every time she stepped onto the set of Descendants, but she also brought the best out of everybody she worked with. And I'm going to miss her being a part of the Descendants franchise. You know, I remember when Peyton List announced that she was leaving the Bunked franchise in 2018, and I was brokenhearted over that. And this departure of Ruby Rose Turner kind of puts me in mind of that, because both Peyton List and Ruby Rose Turner were just incredibly beautiful and so inspirational. I mean, the song Life is Sweeter When You Are was a song about power, a song about friendship, and a song about kindness, more so kindness than anything. And I am a believer that there is not enough kindness seen in this world. I mean, I even can't stand the fact of how you pass by somebody every day while you're out walking and you say hello to them and they don't even respond, and you kind of just want to punch them in the face. I wouldn't recommend that anybody do that, but you kind of feel like that when you pass by them because they're so rude. I mean, you go out of your way to say hi to them and they don't even respond. I think that there is never enough kindness seen in this world, and there are never enough kind people. So I fell in love with the Descendants franchise because of just how much of a better person it made people, and it really helped you put into perspective about, you know, all the mistakes you may have made in your lifetime. You know, if you were in possession of a pocket watch, what would you do with that pocket watch? Would you go back in time and spend more time with the ones you loved with the time you were allocated? Would you go back and try to fix some of the mistakes you had made? I will admit to each and every one of you that I am far from perfect. I am anything but perfect, but we all make mistakes, and none of us are perfect. I know that. But I think that the Descendants franchise has really just been a franchise that will forever and always hold a special place in my heart. I've loved it from the very first time I saw it. I read all the reviews after the Descendants movie premiered 10 years ago. It's really hard to believe that it's been 10 years since over 10 million movie reviews of the movie Descendants was posted on Rotten Tomatoes. I can't even believe that it's been 10 years and over 10 million reviews have been written and posted. I wrote many of them, and I loved it. And I was one of the only YouTubers out there that I think found anything good to say about Descendants. There were a few people that did say good things about Descendants, but I think we had more of a negative review and a negative response for this, because nobody ever thought that a movie centering around the villain's children, such as Maleficent, Jafar, and Ursula, would be able to get off with Disney, but it did. It really did. It left a profound impression on all of our hearts, and one that we will never ever forget. I think there were a lot of characters that never got the credit they deserved, like Sophia Carson's character Evie, because she had no backstory, and Sophia Carson really had to go above and beyond the requirements of an actress to really bring her to life, and I can only imagine how challenging that was. But she did such a beautiful job of that, and she was such a fearless, such a strong character that believed there was hope when there didn't even seem to be any hope with the Descendants franchise. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, Sophia Carson did a great job of bringing her character to life and was instilling in our minds that there was still going to be hope, that they could save Mal in Descendants 2, that they could close the barrier and still, exemplify kindness and have everybody achieve acceptance in Auradon through attending Auradon Prep. And then here comes this beautiful spin-off series, The Rise of Red, with such powerful music and such new characters that everybody fell in love with perhaps quicker than the other characters from the original Descendants. I know that Descendants, the original trilogy, had a story that was told and was completed because of the death of Cameron Boyce, and then everybody for the PR said that, we told the story and we completed it, and it wouldn't be the same without Cameron. I think that they could have continued the story with the original cast and could have continued to honor his legacy, because I'm a firm believer that this is what Cameron Boyce would have wanted. I don't think he would have wanted the story to have been told and to have been completed. I think you could have told the story without Cameron Boyce and still continued to honor him, like they did with The Rise of Red. Within 5 minutes of the movie, there was a little tribute to Cameron Boyce's character Carlos, with Uma saying this is what Carlos would have wanted. And undeniably, this is what Carlos would have wanted. I'm going to be honest with each and every one of you. I miss Cameron Boyce dearly, and I have tried to keep his memory alive through the videos that I have uploaded on this YouTube channel, and I will continue to do that for many years to come. I know how much this franchise means to each and every one of you, and I will do my best with everything in my power to make sure that the legacies of these stars live on eternally in all of your hearts. That's all I've ever wanted to do. I think Ruby Rose Turner is just a genuinely kind person who has received her fair share of criticism. She doesn't need to see her fair share of criticism. And I think ultimately Ruby became a very fearless, stronger character than we've ever seen her portray. It's definitely a far cry from what we saw in Coop and Cammy Ask the World, a series that only lasted 2 seasons. Orange is the New Black, which is a very different take on characters Ruby Rose Turner had portrayed. And now here she comes as Bridget, the young Queen of Hearts, who did a fabulous job of illustrating, how much of a profound effect bullying can have on a person. And I experienced this. I mean, everything you could have had done to you in the way of bullying, I did when I attended high school. I was tripped up in hallways. I was made fun of. I was called names. I was locked in lockers. Everything you could have had happen to a person, right down to having to chase after the school bus every morning trying to catch it until somebody told you to stop the bus. And I was like Spider-Man. I was really the Peter Parker who would be tripped up in the hallway of the bus when the bus would finally be stopped by some girl who probably felt sorry for me. I really don't know. I had a crush on a lot of girls when I went to high school. I could never get with that girl. But I like to believe that I inspired people through always wanting to have my voice heard on the radio or seen on YouTube when I did my podcast. I was always a journalist in high school, so I would write columns for the biggest professional wrestling news websites, including ProWrestling.com and WrestleZone.com, and I would post them during recess and lunch on my lunch breaks. And then after I left high school and got a degree in journalism, I created this show because all I ever wanted to do was spread a message of kindness, and I like to believe that I did that. Going to your high school prom without a date is something that is very challenging. It is very hard to put into words, but I did it because I knew, even when it felt like I had nobody, I had each and every one of you, and that meant the world to me, that I could create this show and so many people could relate to me from their personal experiences and being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, because I never ever wanted anybody to feel as if they were alone, because you ultimately became my light out of darkness, and I guess you could say I just wanted to be your light out of darkness, because you guys accepted me when nobody else did. You believed in me when nobody else did, and you brought me back from seemingly out of obscurity when I thought nobody was ever going to listen to my show, take my show serious. I sit here today and less than a year after relaunching this show with over 3,000 subscribers and almost 40,000 views having been put up on this YouTube channel, and I can't thank you enough. I know there are a lot of rumors surrounding the relationship between Kylie Cantrall and Mila Baker, and I'll have a lot of videos where this goes, but I think that this is just a friendship. I don't think necessarily it's dating rumors. I think that everybody just loves creating rumors that are negative because they just see the negative of Descendants and Zombies. They don't really look at the good of Descendants and Zombies. Zombies, and I think that's where a lot of these videos have been uploaded on YouTube, and they have received a lot of criticism, because that's not what you want to watch about Descendants and Zombies. You want to know when the next movie is going to happen, what the release date is going to be, what are people's predictions about Descendants and Zombies. Will we see confliction between Red and her sister, played by Liamani Segura, which is a portrayal of a character that I'm really looking forward to seeing, because I love quarrels between people. I love how people can be put over as a villain and make something work. And I think that we're going to see Liamani Segura be very vengeful towards Red. Of course, Liamani Segura's character is going to be a consequence of time travel, and this is going to be one of the many consequences of time travel. But it's really interesting how the concept of time travel is not necessary in this movie, with so many consequences of time travel being seen and found within present-day Wonderland. I'm really looking forward to seeing, if Liamani Segura will be a villain, if there will be necessary for Bridget to return by Descendants 6. Could they go back in time by Descendants 6? Just because time travel has been taken out of Descendants 5 doesn't mean that we can't see it by Descendants 6. They could have to go back in time and get Bridget's opinion on something, and Bridget could have to return to present-day Wonderland. And I think that would be an awesome movie, an experience for me to go back in time and save Bridget, because I love her so much. I've often wanted Bridget to be here every night of my life to help me make sense of life and bake cookies and pies in my kitchen and play video games with me. There's just something about Ruby's personality and her voice on the soundtrack of Descendants, which really makes a whole lot of sense to me, because you have all these beautiful songs. I think there were probably 8 or 9 songs on the Rise of Red score, but out of every song, my favorite became Life is Sweeter When You Are, because of its message. It was a very powerful message, and I think more girls now are stronger than they've ever been before because of Ruby Rose Turner, because of Kylie Cantrall, because of Mila Baker, who are incredibly supportive of each other. I think we never see enough of these friendships, and I think that if we made a more consistent effort to be kind to one another, I think we would have a profound impact on somebody's heart who really needs it. Because even when you don't think it, there is somebody out there that really appreciates your kindness and your gestures. And I think that if you exemplified more kind gestures in this life to really help somebody make sense of their own life, I think this world will be a better place. Because I've often said, it's never the world, it's the people that make up the world. And you girls really make a whole lot of sense, or at least you help me make sense of my own life. While I can't speak for many guys out there, but I think the friendships that girls have with each other are beautiful. I've never wanted to discourage that. I love that so much about you girls, how you never quit on anybody, how you never like to see anybody unhappy or crying. And then guys are real idiots, and they tell you to stop doing this or stop doing that. Never ever listen to a guy, or never let him hold you back from your dreams or accomplishing your goals in life, because you only have one life to live. And if I can give you a bit of advice, which I really have no business doing or offering to you, but I think that if a guy can't prioritize you for what you want to see the most out of life for, and accomplishing your goals and your dreams, then you're pretty much wasting your time, and he doesn't obviously appreciate your worth or your value. I think you're beautiful. I think you're incredibly strong, and I think that you will get through any circumstances that you may be faced with. Before all of you, I was just a guy who uploaded videos in his bedroom, and I wasn't being heard enough, I wasn't being seen enough, and I wasn't getting enough subscribers or views on this YouTube channel. But because of all of you, I'm famous overnight. 7.5 years ago, I thought I had recorded my final podcast, and I can't thank you enough for having given me the courage to create so many unbelievable videos for each and every one of you. I can tell you from my heart to yours that this has been an honor and an experience that I will never ever forget. 15 years ago, if someone were to tell me when my podcast had first premiered that 20 years later I would be the voice of Descendants and Zombies and be so proud to sit here and talk about Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Cantrall, I don't know if I'd ever believe you. But for some reason, this happened, and it's just such a huge honor, because I know there are a lot of YouTubers out there that create Descendants and Zombies videos, but not enough Descendants and Zombies videos. And if you're going to create a Descendants and Zombies video, I think really what you have to do is create a video that everybody is going to love and everybody is going to appreciate. I know there are a lot of rumors about the relationships between Kylie Cantrall and Mila Baker. Even Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson has had speculation offered and a light shed on it. But I think that Kylie Cantrall has cried enough, and I just wanted to take away her tears. I think Ruby Rose Turner has cried enough. Even Mila Baker has cried enough. I think that I've seen a video where every major star of the Descendants franchise has cried, and I just wanted to take that away from you because I just wanted them to know that they did nothing wrong. They really didn't. I know in the eyes of the producers, they would take 100 takes because it seemed like it was never perfect, and they could never get it the way the producers wanted it to. I know Kenny Ortega is a very difficult person to please. I know Jennifer Fang was a very difficult person to please, and I'm sure Kimmy Gatewood had her issues during the final days of production with Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, which is a title, by the way, that I love. But I think that even though they were under a lot of pressure because of the directors and the writers wanting it to be a certain way, I really think that they didn't do anything wrong. And I think that if you would have given them more creative freedom, I think that beautiful things would have happened for them. And I think by Descendants 6 or Zombies 5, I think more creative freedom could be bestowed upon these stars because they're getting older. They are learning stuff so quickly, kind of like how Hannah Montana years ago, when Hannah Montana was at the heights of its popularity, was learning so much so quickly, and everybody just instantly fell in love with her. I was one of the guys who was incredibly supportive of Hannah Montana, and I forever and always have been supportive of Miley Cyrus, no matter what anybody thought of her, and I don't regret that. I was incredibly supportive of the High School Musical series, Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron's portrayals of Troy Bolton and Gabriela Montez. Beautifully done. And I've never looked back since. And I think that Descendants is the first powerful franchise that has significantly changed the lives of everybody. You know, more people are not afraid to stand up for what they believe in, not afraid to be strong, not afraid to feel empowered, because I think empowerment is really a gift. And I think that Descendants has really given us this gift and given us a chance to really speak up for ourselves more than we ever have before. You know, I know what it's like to feel as if your voice is not being heard. I went through my entire life feeling as if my voice was not being heard. I was in so many relationships where girls would never listen to me. I would just offer my opinion on what I thought they should do, and they kind of would just blow me off and ignore me. Nobody ever listened to me in a relationship. I just wanted what was best for them. That's why I've always encouraged girls to have friendships with their other girlfriends, because I think that girls know more than guys ever do. We're just pretty much idiots taking up space in the world, and we really don't make sense. A lot of us are control freaks, and we have no business being control freaks. I think we really need to take a step back and let girls really rule the world and have their opinions and their voices be heard, because I think there's nothing stronger than a girl's voice being heard. And I think that empowerment being given to a girl from watching Descendants or Zombies in this whole experience is something that should never be taken lightly or never taken for granted. I want all of you to know that I love you so much from the bottom of my heart, because you could be subscribed to anybody's YouTube channel out there, but you're subscribed to this one. I've loved Descendants from the very first time that I saw it. I just read an interesting article a few days ago where Descendants, the original Descendants movie, had accumulated over 100 million streams on Disney Plus and various other streaming services online. That's incredible. That is really incredible. I don't think a Disney Channel franchise has ever accumulated that many streams, and Zombies is coming right behind it with over 250 million plus hours of stream time. I'm really excited to find out what the next chapter of Descendants will detail. If in fact we will see Descendants 6, I think the release window for this will be sometime between now and summer 2026. That's what they're suggesting. And for Zombies 5, somewhere between now and 2027. Don't ever believe the critics out there that are saying this is going to be the final chapter of Descendants or Zombies. I say this because of the popularity of something, and Disney recognizes this, and they have no plans of ending the franchise anytime soon. So if you could do me the honor of allowing me to be the voice of Descendants and Zombies for just a little while longer, that would be a huge honor for me, honestly, because I never ever thought you girls would have made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies. It's just an incredible honor to be sitting behind this podcast microphone, because when I felt as if I had nobody, I knew I had each and every one of you. And it meant so much to me to be able to create these videos for you in a way that I think nobody else has ever gone out of their way to create so many beautiful videos for you. This is unlike anything that I've ever had the opportunity to talk about. I remember doing commentaries years ago on Hannah Montana and Wizards of Waverly Place when they were at the heights of their popularity. And they were really popular, and I achieved worldwide popularity for a lot of opinions that I may or may not have had about Miley Cyrus and High School Musical and Hannah Montana and Wizards of Waverly Place, shows that Kylie Cantrall grew up idolizing. And now Kylie Cantrall, because she grew up idolizing these shows, are in positions now to really become far more noticed than she ever did before. I want Kylie Cantrall to know that I love her so much, and I will forever be incredibly supportive of Kylie Cantrall and her choices in life. because I think we can never be too supportive of somebody, because I think the more support that we can give somebody, especially in a time of need, can benefit them in the long run, because I think that Kylie Cantrall has cried enough the better political point of view and her opinions having been dragged into the conversation where there's really no business to have her points of view dragged into a conversation. If anything, Kylie Cantrall will always have this show, and she will always have all of us to support her and as fans of the Descendants franchise, which there are tens of millions of people. I just don't know for the life of me how you can create a show without Ruby Rose Turner, because Ruby Rose Turner just really brought Descendants to life, kind of like how I've been trying to bring Descendants to life for you girls for what feels like forever. This has really been an experience that I will never ever forget. I never ever thought that I would see over 100 subscribers on this channel, let alone 3,000 subscribers that I put up. This is unbelievable. Thank you girls so much for just showing the love and the kindness that you have shown to me when you could have been showing that love and that kindness to really anybody. Thank you so much for all the love and support that you have shown this YouTube channel and showing me, because I honestly know for a fact that I would never have been here sitting behind this podcast microphone if not for each and every one of you. I love you girls so much, and I hope you take time out of your busy life to hit the subscribe button, because I know a girl is busy. A girl's got a lot of people she's got to make happy and a lot of smiles. She's got to put on a lot of faces, and rest assured, you do put a smile on my face every single day of your life. Every single day that you open up your eyes and you watch my videos, just know that you put a smile on my face every single time you send me a like or you hit my subscribe button. I love you so much, man. Thank you so much for being a fan of Descendants and Zombies and having made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies for what feels like an eternity. Having said that, be kind to one another. Never ever forget that kindness really does go a long way in this world. I love you all so much. I will be back in a few hours from now. Bye, YouTube. I've got a lot of laundry to do, as you see there in the background. I will be back in a few hours from now. I love you girls so much. Be kind to one another, and we will do this again in just a couple of hours from now.